Okay, welcome back to this channel. My name is Steve. I go by Steve O Mystic on YouTube, and I currently have 93 subscribers, so I'm 997, no, 907 away from 1,000. I need 1,000 subscribers to make this work, so everyone who can help, please help with the subscription, the like, the commenting. Okay, on to the topic. Today, wherever you are, it's the female narcissist and their alcohol and drug dependencies. Now, what I encountered was a girl who claimed to have narcolepsy, so she had a prescription for Adderall, 30 milligrams a day. And then she also said she had anxiety, so she had a prescription for three 1 milligram or 2 milligram tablets of Xanax per day, which she said she used for sleep. And then, of course, there was also Ambien, there was gabapentin, but most importantly, there was was it a liter, 500 mils of vodka every day. So we've got Adderall by day, alcohol, Xanax by night. This was a psychological cocktail that I've encountered before. Not sure what it is that causes people, I don't want to say women, but people who believe they have anxiety to take anxiety medicine that doesn't seem to help them. So I've never met anyone with real anxiety. I know people think they have anxiety, but it appears to me that this was just all excuses for the drug abuse. Well, the excuse that I received was, well, I've been drinking since I'm 14 or 15, and I drink every night. That's what I do. I failed to mention this girl also complains about having back problems. So there's also up to or exceeding 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol every day, even though you're not supposed to take Tylenol and drink alcohol. So let's recap. We've got vodka every day. There was a big bottle of Tito's, which was, I think, 1.5 liters, 1.5 liters. So she'd go through that over 3 days, sometimes more, but most of the time that bottle lasted a maximum of 3 days. Now, I don't like alcohol, but occasionally I would take some sips, but that is not really leading to the reduction of her intake. In fact, it probably increased it. So, what is it about these people that claim to have anxiety, drink alcohol, take Xanax, take Adderall during the day, then say they can't sleep and use the alcohol to mix with the Xanax in the hopes that ultimately they'll pass out? Well, what happens is the person that is with this other person, they don't have these same psychological mood swing impacts and don't have the same actions reactions to things because they're not wasted. And for whatever reason, this is something that seems to be the common denominator with, I want to say, girls that are also female narcissists. So it's Xanax, vodka, and Adderall during the day. Now, the research that I've done on medically is that if you take 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol per day and you're drinking alcohol, your liver is trying to expel the Tylenol first. I don't know how this works, which leaves the Xanax in your system longer. So there's obviously a hangover effect in the mornings, which she'd wake up always saying she was tired. I mean, instead of saying, "Hey, well, welcome to another beautiful day," she would just wake up saying how tired she was. Well, most of this is probably an act. It's probably an act to ensure that she gets to do the minimum, because that's what narcissists do. They want to do the absolute minimum in the relationship to make the relationship continue, not work, but continue. So I'm going to leave the analysis of what this stuff was doing to her, and I'm going to just leave that open. But I'd like to say that what I experienced was a constant personality change. And depending on how drunk she got, she just would not remember the things that she told me the night before. So I would get disclosure of things that she had done, whether recently or in the past. And then days or weeks later, in conversations, when it would come up, she would deny that these things happened. And then after realizing, after I told her that, she told me that these things had happened, then there would be some sort of campaign to try to make me believe that I got it wrong. Well, this is what narcissists use. It's an attack on a person's common sense, which they don't have. And of course, it doesn't work. So, this cognitive dissonance is what they use to confuse people. Well, the problem is, if you're sober, you don't get confused. You just know that they're lying. And they're so convinced that they're so brilliant that anything that they say, you're going to believe. And because you look confused, they know that their use of cognitive dissonance is working. But what they don't realize is it's sort of like, stepping in a puddle. You step in a puddle, your foot's getting wet. So, you remove your foot, but your foot still gets wet. So you walk away from the conversation. They believe they've tricked you and confused you, but all you really did was take your foot out of the water so it didn't get wetter. Now, I don't want to be confusing myself, but what I'm trying to convey is this cognitive dissonance, which, is only a term that I learned from her. Of course, most of these narcissistic abuse terminologies I learned from her. So I'm glad to know that there's terminology for the syndrome. I'll get to use it throughout my series. But I want people that are involved in relationships with people like this to understand is that just because you're confused for a second, because that someone's trying to overwhelm your senses with baffling nonsense, but they don't understand that we're not fooled, and we're looking at them, and they believe they've fooled us. So what all it really does is destroy the relationship. One more piece is removed from whatever is your trust puzzle, or your belief system. Your values clearly are different. So I just want people to understand that when you're confused for the moment and the person thinks they've got you, they don't understand that they didn't get you, that you don't really believe them anymore. There's nothing to believe them about anymore. So you really can't believe anything they say. And that is really sort of the relationship's already over, because now you're in a position where you can't trust them. You don't know what they're saying. They're just saying whatever they want to say to try to get out of that conversation. And I just want you to know it's not you. And they want you to believe it's you, but it's definitely them. And it's sad because they just don't understand. They don't have complete control of their faculties, especially after drinking the amount of vodka this girl drank, especially after it mixed with these psychoactive drugs uh, of Xanax and whatever else she was taking. I'm not even aware of. So, and of course the Adderall, the delusions of grandeur and the amazing things that she was always going to do, she never followed through on. These are things that I believe are consistent in all of these relationships. And if they are, understand it's not you, it's them. So again, I believe that we choose to stay in these relationships for our own reasons, but we're not the victim. Remember that. Okay. Like, subscribe, share, get some other people, get me up to 1,000 subscribers so I can start this digital nomad life. Okay. Peace. Good night.